Yo, what's up everyone? Adion here, bringing you another character breakdown. Today, we're going to be covering Buzzwole, the Swole Pokemon. This is the first Ultra Beast to join the Unite gang. Its ability is Beast Boost. When this Pokemon knocks out or assists in knocking out an opposing Pokemon, its movement speed and a basic attack speed increase for a short time. Also, each time this Pokemon hits an opposing Pokemon with a basic attack or certain move, its muscle gauge charges. Conversely, when the Pokemon is not in combat, the muscle gauge depletes by 1 muscle gauge increment whenever a set amount of time passes. Up to 6 muscle gauge increments can be stored. This Pokemon's basic attack increases the muscle gauge by 1 increment, like we said earlier, and becomes a boosted attack every 3rd attack, throwing 2 consecutive punches while restoring the user's HP. Buzzwole's first attacks are Mega Punch and Fell Stinger. Mega Punch. The user moves in a designated direction before slamming the ground with a powerful punch. The shock from the punch deals damage to opposing Pokemon in an area of effect. If this move hits a Pokemon from the opposing team, the user's muscle gauge increases by 1 increment. Fell Stinger. This move consumes the entire muscle gauge and has the user deal damage to opposing Pokemon in a designated direction. This move deals more damage the more muscle gauge increments are consumed. If this move knocks out an opposing Pokemon, the user recovers HP. At level 5, Buzzwole can either learn Leech Life or Superpower. Leech Life. The user grabs and restrains an opposing Pokemon in a designated direction, dealing damage over time while restoring the user's HP. When this move is used, it consumes the user's entire muscle gauge. The number of hits and the amount of damage dealt per hit increases the more muscle gauge increments are consumed. This move ends if the user becomes unable to act for any reason or is restrained. Pokemon escapes by using an eject button or through some other means. Superpower. Consume the entire muscle gauge and the user runs into a designated direction and grabs an opposing Pokemon. The user then slams the opposing Pokemon down on the ground at full strength, dealing damage to the opposing Pokemon in an area of effect. The damage dealt by this move and the shield effect it grants increases the more muscle gauge increments are consumed. At level 7, Buzzwole can either learn Lunge or Smackdown. Lunge. The user lunges in a designated direction, dealing damage to opposing Pokemon and decreasing their attack for a short time. If this move hits an opposing Pokemon, the user's muscle gauge increases by 1 increment for each one that was hit. After this move is used, the user's basic attack speed increases for a short time. A maximum of 2 uses can be kept in reserve for this move. Smackdown. The user delivers an uppercut punch to an opposing Pokemon in a designated direction, dealing damage to it and throwing it into the air. While the thrown Pokemon is airborne, the user can use this move again to perform a follow-up attack that smacks that Pokemon down to the ground, dealing damage to all opposing Pokemon in the area of effect centered on the Smackdown Pokemon. If the user does not follow up on an initial uppercut attack, the opposing Pokemon will fall to the ground on its own. If this occurs, damage is dealt to all opposing Pokemon in an area of effect centered around the point of impact. If this move deals damage to Pokemon on the opposing team, the user's muscle gauge increases by 1 increment per enemy hit. At level 9, Buzzwole gets its Unite move, Ultra Swole Slam. The user flies at high speed, dealing damage to all opposing Pokemon hit in an area of effect. Afterward, the user targets the opposing Pokemon with the lowest percentage of HP among those hit and charges down at it from the sky, dealing damage once again to that Pokemon. And there you have it guys, Buzzwole, the Gym Junkie Pokemon. Honestly, definitely one good fun Pokemon to try out. I do apologize for the very bad Arnold voice there. But yeah, I had a fantastic time making this one. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you in the next one. Adion out. Bye!